Hello, Deborah.
Yes, hi.
It's Michael Persh calling from Adelaide. Rebecca set me up for a chat.
Yeah, that's fine. How are you going?
I'm very well. How are you this morning?
Yeah, very good.
You ready to roll?
I'm ready to roll.
Okay. Deborah Conway, welcome to the show. It is an absolute pleasure to say hello. How are you on this fine day?
Very well, very well.
I've been listening to some tunes from Half Man, Half Woman, and you and Willie Ziegler have done it again. It's a magnificent recording.
Oh, thanks, Michael. It's lovely of you.
I love Summertown. I just listen to it over and over again, and for me, it's taken some of those things that I loved about that record, but to a different place, to a more acoustic place.
Yeah, I think that was absolutely what we were trying to do. So well done for getting that message. I guess the idea was to just see what we could do with two vocals and two guitars. I mean, as you would know, having listened to some of the record, we haven't actually done that. We weren't able to entirely restrain ourselves completely, but there's not many bells or whistles on this record. It's really very much about the songwriting and about being as honest as possible to the genre of acoustic music, I suppose.
But it also has a lovely feel, Deborah, about it sort of takes me to the south of America, someone sitting on a porch strumming a banjo or a ukulele or something.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad it does that. And it was very important to me the way the songs flowed one to the next, so that you were gently deposited at the door of each particular tune, never being jarred from one feeling to the next, but still having enough variety that you're interested in listening to the entire record. And there were some really nice surprises in it.
And you and Willie have a unbelievable musical compatibility. Was that obvious from day one?
Well, there was something obvious from day one. We did sort of click immediately, and I guess that the kind of relationship that we have in our personal life is absolutely reflected in our musical life as well.
I do remember reading something on the subject of when you guys met, that you mentioned that your first impression of him was that he had a nice ass.
A nice what?
Nice ass.
A nice ass.
Which I was...
incorrect, actually.
Is it? There you go, misquoted in the
press. Face way before I looked at his ass.
Misquoted in the press, there you go.
Oh, well, you can't believe everything you read, can you?
And
but he was pretty cute, I have to say. And only later I found out he could cook as well.
There you go, 3 out of 3.
I'm telling you, what a bonus.
And Adelaide's own James Black has twiddled the knobs for you on this one.
That's right, he has to. And I don't know about twiddling the knobs, but what he did was he provided an absolutely invaluable service. He provided that sounding board that we needed. Now, when I asked him to produce the record, he said, "Look, I'm happy to do that, but what I don't want to do is I don't want to go into the studio tomorrow and put this down as is with bass and drums," which we could have done pretty easily because we were ready. We had demoed the songs quite elaborately and we knew what they were doing. He said he wanted to unpick the songs and re-stitch them together. And that's what we did. And I have to say it was really surprising for me to do that. And it made me prickle as well. I was not always easy to, and cooperative. In fact, we had battles about it. But always, to James' credit, I mean, he was always absolutely unfailingly patient and reasonable about it all. And I think some of the songs didn't survive the process. Some of them came out stronger, and some of them were just completely shattered by it and never to be revived. But it was a really, really interesting way of going about making this record, and I'm very grateful to that.
Lying Next to You is, I think, a tune that most people would. It's starting to get airplay that I've heard on the ABC. It's a lovely tune indeed, and a ukulele in the background there.
That's right. Yep, Willie's fallen in love with the ukulele.
It's become trendy lately to play the ukulele.
Ah, yeah, has it? Well, it's very convenient to take around.
Indeed, but it fits into that tune particularly well. It's just lovely. It gives it as I said to you before. It gives it that sort of South of America sort of feel in some way, and just a lovely sort of sitting around in summer sort of song.
A slightly Appalachian quality, though.
Yeah, that's the word I was after, indeed.
That's all right.
And also your daughters are on a tune, Into the Blue. Were they coerced into doing that, or did it work the other way around?
No coercion was used from either party. But the idea was that we were off to Tamworth to perform at our first country music festival, and we had a 9-hour trip in front of us because we were on summer holidays on the south coast of New South Wales, and we were going to drive up there, and we thought, oh, what are we going to do for 9 hours with our children? We thought, well, if we write them a song and they learn how to sing it in the car, and then they've got a stake in the whole kind of process of going up to Tamworth, and they'll be more excited about it as opposed to grumpy. Of course, they fought the entire way up there. Your attitude, no, your attitude, you have the words wrong. Anyway, which was pretty crazy. But I have to say, they got up and sung it in front of 3,000 people at our opening concert up there, because we were playing with Melinda Schneider, who was, your listeners would probably know, is a golden guitar princess up there.
She is indeed.
And nerve-free and three-part harmony, and it was fantastic. And after that, we took it a bit more seriously, and I worked on the lyric. It's a real coming-of-age piece, and it's banjo and ukulele. And those three singing, and I kind of hop in right at the end. And it's a lovely piece. And I sort of was nervous that it was just kind of sentimental, and of course their mother and father would like it, because it's a little audio snapshot for us that was taken now around about a year ago. But I was assured by people who were listening to it that they thought it was a very worthwhile addition to the record, and we should definitely include it. So there it is. It's on the record, and the girls really like it.
It's very nice indeed. A lovely tune.
Yeah.
And I'm an old guy, and I still love the old LP covers that you could read and fall in love with the covers as much as music. But the packaging for this, Deborah, is magnificent. It took me back to those things where you had lots of things to play with apart from the recording.
That's right. It's exactly what I wanted to achieve, Michael. You're spot on. It's absolutely precisely it. I wanted people to sort of unwrap this and think, wow, this is just sort of like going back to those 12-inch vinyl pieces. There's so much more to it than just a download or a jewel case or something. So yeah, it's a kind of the pop-up origami pornographic orchid inside is meant to entertain and amuse, and it's supposed to be this visual representation of half man, half woman, and the way we work together. So yeah.
And I recall back when Summertown was out, you did a very interesting thing to promote it. That you would actually sell, I think, correct me if the numbers are wrong, but around 30 CDs that you and Willie would come along to people's backyard and play a set for them.
That's right, and we're doing it again. So
are
we're
you
calling
really?
it Half Man, Half Woman Party this time.
Fantastic! That is the most.
Everyone.
That is the most fantastic promotion I've ever heard in my life.
Well, it was fantastic fun for us to do too. We did over 100 of those summerwear parties.
Wow!
And I, if the Half Man, Half Woman party is anything to go by, business is starting to boom again, and it's a really nice way to listen to music. It's the kind of shared celebration that you enjoy with family and friends. It means that the record is so much more than just a record. It's actually a memento of this event that you've shared with people that you care about. And I've loved doing them. It's been a really fantastic combination of what the internet can offer and old-fashioned traditional minstrelship.
In my thoughts, it would be sometimes fraught with danger. Have you had any horror stories?
It's never been fraught with danger, Michael. Although there was one fantastic Adelaide party that we did that we arrived. I think it was we came down to Adelaide and we did about 11 of them in 3 days or something, or 2 days. I think at one point I turned around to Willie and said, wow, we couldn't do this without a street directory, could we? It was the kind of insanity that I was getting to at that point. But we walked into the last party that we did. It was, 11 o'clock. So maybe it was about 9:30 or 10 o'clock on a Saturday night, something like that.
Okay.
Like someone's 40th birthday, and they were all wearing school uniform. And we just thought, my God, what have we stepped into here? It was very crazy. But, but all good fun.
Indeed. I just wanted to quickly share with you a moment that happened to me a couple of months ago. I was in the car with my good wife and my son, and Man Overboard came on the radio. And I thought, here's a great opportunity for me to show off my profound musical knowledge. And I mentioned this is the only pop tune to become a hit that ever mentioned the phrase penis envy. And my son was most impressed.
There you go.
And my wife was most unimpressed. but when I think about that tune so far, it was so popular, but it was such an angst-ridden song and no chorus, but it still is such a loved tune, isn't it?
Well, Freud, of course, is terribly out of date, so one doesn't like to talk about penis envy these days. But look, I think it still holds up as a piece of art. I still play it, and I still like it. So that's got to be, there's got to be said something for that. It's like 25 years later or something.
Indeed, and it still sounds as great as it did when we first heard it.
Thank you.
And you're heading to see us at the Gov, and I dare say back to do some more private shows. Then
well,
I guess.
If I get some offers, we're whipping in and out. But I'd definitely love to come back to Adelaide on a special run and do a whole bunch of them again. And I'm sure we could do that. If we get enough. If we get enough requests. But yes, the 9th of July we're playing at the Governor Hindmarsh, great old favourite watering hole of mine in Adelaide. So come along. We've got a little 4-piece band. We've got Shannon Birchall from John Butler Trio playing double bass.
Fantastic. He's a great player.
Wonderful player. And Tony Floyd is joining us for a bit of percussion and vocals, and Willie and I, of course. So yeah, it should be good fun.
Magnificent. Thank you very much for your time, Deb. It's been an absolute pleasure to say hello. And as I said, the CD is absolutely magnificent in lots of ways. In the packaging and the music is just brilliant. So it's a lovely thing indeed.
You're very kind. Thank you very much, Michael.
Would you mind doing a quick tag for me?
No, not at all.
My show is called Sitting in a Bar in Adelaide.
Okay.
If you can, I wanted to name it after a tune about Adelaide, and I had heaps of trouble trying to find a tune about Adelaide that wasn't particularly derogatory, and that one still is to a point, but it's the best I could do.
Okay, will do.
So if you can do me something along the lines of, this is Deborah Conway and you're listening to blah, blah, blah.
And how do you say your second name? Persh?
Persh, that's right.
Yeah, okay, no worries. Ready? Hello, this is Deborah Conway and you're listening to Michael Persh and we're sitting in a bar in Adelaide.
Thank you again, Deborah. I'm looking forward to the show. Magnificent to talk to you. Thank you so much for your time.
It's a pleasure, Michael.
All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye.